So I graduated with a bachelor's degree in civil engineering in 1988, so quite a while ago. I found that what's true now was true then. There's definitely challenges being female. I think a lot of times the expectation is that maybe you don't know what you're doing, especially when you're new into the field and you're young, then that's kind of a strike against you as well. The female students tend to come in with less confidence, and so they come into the major thinking, and we've surveyed them, so it's not anecdotal, we actually see it across the board, that they're not smart enough to be in engineering, even though academically they are performing at a higher level than their male students. Another issue is the way that female students tend to respond to feedback is different than male students. So if a test is really hard and students don't do well, the female students will tend to internalize that as, I didn't know what I was doing, I wasn't as smart enough to do this well on this test, and a male student typically will respond more along the lines of, well, that teacher didn't tell us that was going to be on the test, or, you know, the teacher isn't a good teacher, or they don't know how to write a test, and externally attribute their performance. I mean, even myself in the recent years have been told, ask questions that wouldn't have been asked to male engineers simply because I'm a woman. So, you know, there's definitely things that exist, and as I said, hopefully we'll move away from those, but there's a lot of even unconscious bias things that happen as well. The solution, a lot of it comes back to education. People need to be aware that there are these unconscious bias that are occurring. And one way to do that is to have more diversity existing, because then there's more people that are feeling some of these things, and you're more likely to hear it more and more. So right now in the College of Engineering, some of our departments have just 1 or 2 females. So if they say something, then it's easy to say, well, that's this person having a problem. But if it's all of your women and you have 20% of your faculty that are women, then you get more likely to acknowledge that it's a problem with how they are being treated rather than an individual, you know, personality conflict.
Just number one, there's an obvious disparity in just like the proportions of men to women in the class. Especially in electrical engineering, the classes are predominantly male. The girls tend to kind of get pushed aside, unless then they have to like fight twice as hard just to get their voices heard. Like, if you think you're right, go for it, and don't hold back just because all these people are trying to talk over you, because you have just as justified of a right to be studying engineering as them, because you're just as smart.
That there are these like automatic barriers that that can like hinder like, my confidence, or make me think that I'm not as capable as I am. Like more apprehensive to raise their hand in class, and maybe more apprehensive to show their knowledge. I think that there's almost 2 different playing fields. Like, I think that this could become an issue even more in the workplace. The female side will be disregarded more, even if they have some like revolutionary idea or some project idea that just kind of like pushed under the rug, even especially if it's a risky idea, because a lot of times they were given less trust, so the risky ideas are going to be less respected and maybe ignored. I think it is more of like an internal thing, and the whole solution comes with awareness of these different tendencies, and I think it just needs to be talked about more.